prepare for the Shootnami. I'm John Porter.
I'm Caitlin Andrews.
And we're back again for week 2, which I imagine podcasting is probably a very big hump to get over. Just doing it again.
Doing it twice.
Especially after so nice that we decided to do it twice, even after a 2-hour debut episode last Sunday. And I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we decided to do it again.
Yeah.
You and I decided that we talked a lot about WWE last week, and we talked a lot about WrestlePalooza, and the nature of the show maybe didn't warrant, in retrospect, a 2-hour conversation.
I don't know. I mean, I think I could talk about wrestling no matter how drab or dry or mid card or mid it was.
Do you under 2 hours for the amount of time that they discussed WrestlePalooza in the actual WWE writers' room?
I think it was over.
You think it was
I
just
think
2.5 hours?
I think it was over. You know what I think is that they probably had a bunch of grand, really cool ideas and then got scared or nixed them because they were nervous about what would happen.
This is so emblematic of the wrestling landscape right now, because even though we started the show off swearing that we would not dive back into WrestlePalooza, how quickly they pulled us back in. This is what they do, and then this is the struggle that AEW is against, and what they were against on the 20th, in order to make a half-assed pivot to what we ultimately want to do today, which is we want to give some equal time. We watched Dynamite this past week, and we felt that it was only fair to provide an equal assessment, albeit, on not as grand of a show, on the state of AEW. And we're going to begin with probably one of the bigger developments, I thought, from the show. And that was the introduction of the women's tag team titles. There seems to be an inequity in terms of the focus of the male roster versus the female roster. And I think that, the introduction of Mercedes Moné and, the kind of drip of Athena and Billy Starks and some of the Ring of Honor talent have really evened out that focus. I think you and I really enjoyed the match that Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné had it All In.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. It was an all-timer for AEW.
Mm-hmm. I think that if given the proper amount of attention, these tag team titles could really provide more space for AEW to not only boost their female roster that they have, but also, to really inject more talent into it. Because what we plan on doing today is we're going to have our draft of the division. So we're going to take what I've assembled as kind of a list of 21 or 22 active AEW wrestlers, female wrestlers, that are feasible recipients or people that might be in contention for these titles.
Mm-hmm.
We have that in front of us, and that we are going to go back and forth, and we're going to draft 2 at a time, 3 teams each. And then cumulatively 6 teams will make up that division. And then from there, then we can maybe talk about, from that grouping, who we feel like would be a good inaugural team, who we feel like might be the one that would be worthy of, who could benefit the most from chasing or even winning the titles later on down the line. Just kind of like how we feel like you could book this for the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm. I think I just want the tag teams to make sense because I find that AEW loves to just put people against each other to just do it. I feel like, as someone that, I don't know, gets kind of passionate about GM mode,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would want to not just put 2 random people together and genuinely have them have some real chemistry, or even like Jade and Naomi, like having like a tag team, but then kind of moving into a rivalry, or just two people that have good chemistry together for both being together and also like fighting against each other. And I think with the I think what's really fun about this is like AEW's talent, like I don't think they think about who would go good together. So it's a lot of like random, unique female talent.
Right.
But there isn't really like a like I mean, even making tag teams from this list is like going to be like
It's going to be
bonkers.
difficult
Yeah.
because there's really no story lore for a lot of these teams. Like when I was going through, I could find maybe one or two pairings.
Yeah.
But you would have to build that stuff from the ground up. So
Like Toni
obviously,
Storm and Monet are really like the only two that have like really interesting backgrounds that
right,
could be like intertwined or like could give somebody the push,
right.
So I don't know. It's just like, yeah, it'll be interesting.
No, well, we definitely have to go uphill a little bit here, but I think that's part of the fun. And honestly, it might be even more fun to kind of revisit this after the new champions have been determined, and maybe we've had like a feud or two, and we get a better sense of like the infrastructure of contenders, and then we could come back and cross reference as to what we're guessing here, and then we can maybe talk about if they did a good job in terms of you know making it make sense for each pairing.
Yeah.
Because right now you're exactly right. It's like honestly, I struggle to even recall just a traditional four-person conventional tag match. It's usually 8, 10 women, and it's just kind of a grab that you just put them all in there, and everybody. This is kind of a fundamental flaw in the AEW booking, is they think that if everybody's out there, everybody has the opportunity to get over, but really it's nobody has the opportunity to get over because like I mentioned in the last episode, there's the thing that I kind of refer to as AEW tagitis, which is eventually, usually for this company, within the first few minutes, like things will devolve and there will be action all over the place, in the ring, on the floor, in the crowd.
I wish I could just do like creative direction for AEW. I would just love to do that because they need a creative director.
Well, we're gonna kind of do a little bit right here. So let's try to get into the divisional draft for the new AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. I am going to graciously give you the first pick. Yes. So here's again how this will work is that we're going to draft a total of 3 teams. So hopefully we'll be able, and we're not going to do a lot of discussing of the teams in the moment, but once we have the full picture of what we've chosen, then I'll do kind of a brief rundown of everything we've selected, and then we'll talk about our thoughts on that briefly. I do want to get to actual like larger AEW discussion and some stuff from Dynamite, but I just thought it'd be kind of an interesting way to dive into this from this very limited list that we have. So you are the holder of the number one pick, which means that you have the first 2 selections. You are on the clock. Who is your first tag team?
I get to pick both.
You get to pick 2 people that will be your first team.
Okay. I think I'm gonna. This is probably sounds insane, but
Okay.
I have a story for it.
Okay.
I want Harley Cameron. And
This is devastating for me, by the way.
that's okay. You still have quite a number of people that are awesome. And Marina Shafir.
Okay. All right.
You might not get it yet.
No,
which is fine.
But I think that this is definitely going to be a discussion once we finish.
Okay, so we're drafting and then we talk.
So
Okay.
number one pick overall, Harley Cameron and Marina Shafir. I'm so intrigued by that.
Well, I'm glad it was intriguing because I was thinking like, oh, why wouldn't I pick like a like Tony Storm or like Mercedes Monet or whatever. But like, okay, I don't want to talk about it anymore if we're gonna just hold off until the end. But I have a plan.
All right, this is an easy one for me. I'm surprised. I'm a little surprised you did not take this combination off the board. With my first selections, Queen Aminata and Tekla.
Okay, yeah, I know.
And where else? And where else do we go with these two?
Yeah,
Here's the well. Okay, we're not going to get into it.
we should be
We're
able
not
to,
going to get
but
into it
yeah.
yet because
Okay.
these selections are going to go quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go on to round two.
Okay. I think my round two is gonna be Tony Storm and Julia Hart.
Oh, that's good.
I think that's okay. I can't. I know. I want to talk about
No,
it.
that's good. That's good.
Okay.
That's good in so many ways that I also want to talk about it. All right, you know what I said? This is going to be like a not a 2 hour podcast. I don't think that's true anymore. Number two. I'm going to need to see the list for this one.
Okay.
I got to my first selection, got very excited, and then that was it for me. I
did the
didn't
same
really
thing.
pass it. Okay. Give me Jamie Hayter, personal favorite of mine.
Wait, did I not say Jamie Hayter?
Who did you say?
Did I say Julia Hart?
Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay, we're gonna make the case for it anyway.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't believe I said that name instead of what I wanted to say, which is Jamie Hayter. Oh, I'm so angry.
We have our first draft debacle. Only 4
Why
picks
did I
in.
say Julia Hart? Because I'm exhausted and I was spent all day with our baby. Oh man.
It's okay. You know what? We're gonna flex our booking muscles
Can
here.
I switch it out? Can I go back? Can I buy Jamie Hayter from you?
Buy Jamie Hayter for me.
Can I just give you $1 million for Jamie Hayter? Please save me from this.
All right, all right. I'll tell you what. Since this is purely an intellectual exercise, we'll give you Jamie Hayter.
No, I actually can't. No, just for anyone listening, like you have to understand, like I cannot stand Julia Hart, and I'm kind of mad that
I was a little surprised by that,
no,
but also because of your first pick, I kind of just thought that
I was playing crazy.
we're thinking out of the box here. Yeah, you're just like, look, you know, and I kind of thought it was it was
Like Tony Storm would fix her, but
Tony Storm could get anybody over, which is what I thought you were thinking here. It was like,
right,
how do we get Julia Hart out of the mud? Because Julia Hart has a lot of this, and we're talking about it, but like Julia Hart has a lot of the same instincts creatively
yeah,
that Tony does, and that they want to
totally.
build these very larger than life personas.
Yeah, you're right.
She wouldn't be able to do it, but not anymore because
I,
you took her off the board. So we're gonna give you We're gonna give you Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter. That's a great tag team. Means I'm gonna have to switch it up a little bit.
thank you, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
I appreciate you trying to like
I'm
make
gonna
sense of it.
yeah, I'm gonna avoid trying to avoid double booking uh the current champions
Yeah.
because I feel like they'd be favorites
Mm-hmm.
to get the belts, and I just don't want to put an eighth belt on Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
So I have her here. I personally probably won't um, choose her. So let's see. Give me Athena.
Damn it.
Give me Athena and Willow Nightingale.
Damn it. That's good.
On the fly. Had my pick taken off the board. We went ahead and uh, made lemonade, and it is oh so sweet. Last pick.
I am. I don't know about anyone else here.
I know it's them. It's them. This is day 3 of the draft. This is the 7th round. This is just like let's just get someone in here and see how it goes.
Oh, fuck. Duh. I don't know who I would pick. I guess I Mercedes Monet because she is left.
All right, I'm curious to see who you would pair her with.
I mean, I think who I would really pair her with is off of this list.
Well, let me know. Doesn't have to be the. If you got someone, if you got an honorable mention, let me. You're free to let me know.
I
But they have to be like on AEW TV currently.
Yeah, I think maybe from this list, Chris Statlander.
Okay, so we have the double champion tag team.
Yeah, and I think the only reason I would put them together is I just think it would be fun to watch.
Let's start with this. I'm going to make my selection, but let's start with this because I think this really speaks to the issue. Um, with my third and final pick, we are going to go with a favorite of mine. Hmm.
I'm stressed. Are you stressed?
Well,
I'm
well,
sweating.
you should be okay because you're finished.
You
But
got Jamie
I'll tell
Hayter.
you what. I'm gonna finish strong here, right? These are two women that I really enjoy. They got a little bit of shine early on, especially the first one. That's Hikaru Shida. I think multiple time AEW Women's Champion, like way in the very beginning of the promotion, but kind of used sparingly. And Serena Deeb.
Hmm.
Serena Deeb, the professor, someone who I feel like doesn't just not enough effort has been paid into kind of like developing that angle of her being like a master technician, the professor. I really think that they could do kind of a Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, I don't like her shtick. I feel
And
like
yeah, with her, it's definitely underdeveloped, but I feel like she's definitely the one that's any character development or any screen times, like she's having to like do that herself. It's like with Tony Storm, where she started doing the timeless thing, and there, everybody loves it now, but there was definitely a time when
people were not into
it wasn't clear what was happening here. And then she, willed that to getting over with the audience. And I at least think Serena Deeb has, that audience really appreciates people who can wrestle.
Hmm.
This is the technical wrestlers group. What you may be lacking in terms of like a promo, you might get a reliable team that can pull a good match out of pretty much anybody on this list. So I think it's more of a utilitarian pick.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's kind of like how I feel about my last pick too. It's like you just got to put them. You got to put the ones that really like stand out.
Your last pick, I think, speaks to the whole point of this exercise.
Yeah, totally.
Which is that we only chose 3 teams each. So for a total of 6. And
Yeah.
it took us 5 to get to the point where we were essentially saying, fuck it. I'll put the TBS champion and the world champion together.
Yeah, why not?
Because I know that group is going to get over.
Yeah.
Because I know people want to see that. And from everybody else, and let's just, for the sake of the exercise, let's read off the undrafted, right? We have Alex Windsor, Billy Starks, Julia Hart, Megan Bain, Mina Shirakawa, Nyla Rose, who I'm not even really sure, I can't remember the last time that she was in the ring, Penelope Ford. I'll give you $10 if you can tell me who Penelope Ford is.
I don't know.
Riho, Sky Blue, Taya Valkyrie, $10, Taya Valkyrie.
No, I do know Taya Valkyrie.
Really?
Yeah, she's the one with
The
the wings, right?
That's Megan Bain. That's Megan Bain, the one with the one that kind of looks like The Greek goddess?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Megan Bain.
Megan Bain. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I heard Valkyrie and then I thought.
But it makes sense, right? Exactly. Yeah. And then Thunder Rosa, who I think is like,
I'm so mad at Thunder Rosa.
it's a pass, right? It's like ever since the chair thing,
Wait,
it's a pass.
who's your nightmare tag?
Like turn the TV off.
Like, who would you turn the TV off if you saw together in a tag? Mine's Thunder Rosa.
Okay, Thunder Rosa and who?
Julia Hart.
I think mine would be also Julia Hart and Riho.
Oh,
Hmm.
Riho and Julia Hart. Could you imagine? I actually would turn the TV. I think I would turn the TV off.
Good.
I'm good, guys.
That's a 10x right there. That's a skip.
It's a big, big skip.
Yeah.
That would be like I would be mad about it. I would
Yeah.
be mad about it.
Why are you wasting my time with this?
Stop.
Mhm.
Unless it was against like a Chris Statlander and just
Brock Lesnar squash match
that
with a hospital angle.
right, like an ambulance match.
Yeah.
Only you just knew, that it would end up with them in the ambulance.
4 Shootnamis.
No, and I don't mean to like shit on any female wrestlers. I have a little bit of a problem with the sexualization of Riho and then Julia Hart. I just don't like it. I just don't like any of it. I just think what she's going for and what she's done. Like I never loved the like callback to like the women who stand outside of the ring and like cheer on the men matches, which is when I started watching AEW. She was very much like the witch spellcaster that like stood on the sidelines for like I don't know some spooky group that she was a
The House of Black.
The House of
Black. Malachi and Brody and Buddy Matthews, who I don't.
Which are 3 amazing wrestlers, and like
when Buddy Matthews isn't on a milk carton, like I have no idea where he is, but you know.
I know it would be nice to see him every now and again, other than in Rhea Ripley's Instagram posts. But like, I mean, I'm not complaining by any stretch, but I would like to see him every now and again. But anyway, yeah, I think I have a bad taste in my mouth from like her olden days of just doing that instead of like trying to cut her teeth. Like I could see like a Maxine Dupree like rise for her. Like and I feel like she's trying with the whole like she's trying and I'll give her credit for that because please keep trying. Please keep trying to wrestle. You could be like, if you really tried and really gave it like the energy it deserves, like you could do like a Liv Morgan where people like think that you can't do it and then all of a sudden you are, turning every head in the stadium, know, because you're bringing drama, you've got that special something and like she has some art direction, creative stuff that she's trying out and like
she has a vision. She has something that she wants to do. It's just a matter of
executing it. Yeah. And it's like I would love to see it finally be successful for her, but like it's just been cringe ever since I've been watching her. So I think
I think it's okay that we haven't chosen Julia Hart because I'm pretty sure that the real team with her, the real pairing will be Julia Hart and Sky Blue because they actually have that kind of. I don't know the name, but it's kind of like a witch's coven kind of motif.
Coven girls.
Coven girls. Something along those lines. So like Coven babes.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll be in that group. So it's okay that we didn't choose them here. I'm sure that she'll find a home, and that we'll probably be back here in a couple months talking about perhaps some qualifying match or maybe even like a title match that they had together. But let's talk about Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander.
It would have to be like a Liv Morgan and
Raquel
Rodriguez type of situation where like they fit together, but you kind of have like the little fierce one and you have like the big bodyguard one.
Right.
And that's kind of like the story I would put with them is like you really can't fuck with them because they win everything and They are hard to beat, and anyone who comes up against them is going to probably have like, 3 or 4 matches, to try and win
Right.
it.
So this is the equivalent of like our Hurt Syndicate.
Yes, this is our female Hurt Syndicate.
Right. And I definitely think that in this fictional division, these two are the ones that are going to be holding the belt.
Of
in the
course.
beginning, right. So I guess what we can do is we can conclude, or at least power rank, contenders, the people that we feel like would be ready for a rub that those two could provide. Because in this scenario, they also hold the TBS Championship and the Women's World Championship.
I don't think Tony gives a shit. Tony doesn't care. Tony's your boss, and Tony doesn't care, and he's gonna say they hold all the belts.
Well, we know he doesn't give a shit because Mercedes is running out of arm space. They have to hang the belts on the middle rope when she comes out, because he's just put every promotion's belt on there.
Yeah, so why not? Just give her another one. Who cares?
I'm sure that's what it would be in this scenario.
Totally.
But let's say that there's some sort of, I don't know,
Thought process and planning.
the need to push new talent.
Yeah, shocking.
Let's go ahead and talk about who we feel like would be ready for that rub. And I feel like it's down to 3. But one of the teams that's just outside of that is the one that I'm most curious about. Let me say what my top 3 is, and then you can tell me if you agree, and then we can kind of index them as needed, and we'll go from there. As much as I'm like, the nerd in me loves the Sheeta and Deeb pairing, this is not a number 1 contender.
Yeah.
This is this is the group that you put in a match to prove the wherewithal of the number 1 contender. These guys will put this team to take on Monet and Statlander over, I imagine. Because then they can show that they have the chops to do it in ring. So I'm going to go and just mark them off. My top 3 would be Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to beat. I think that the one right below them that might have a shot of doing so would be Athena and Willow. The third one, I feel like you could take your time with, because I would really love to see an arc where these two beat the bejesus out of each other, and eventually all they can do is respect one another, because they've just continuously taken their best shot, and then realized that, you know what, if I were to tag with anybody on this damn roster, I want to do it with someone who I know hits hard, fights hard, and I know that that's you, and that's Queen Aminata and Tekla. That's motivation 1. Motivation 2 is that we have to find a way to raise Queen Aminata's star as quickly as we can.
So I actually don't love those two together, and I will tell you why. I think Queen Aminata is perpetually buried, like in AEW, and we've both like agreed that that's the case.
I agree with that.
I think putting her in a tag team is just like, I think it's like a continuation of like burying her. Like, I think Queen Aminata deserves, you know what? If you hadn't picked Queen Aminata, I'd have put her with Mercedes Monet. And I would have put her as the Chris Statlander, because those two together would be diabolical.
Yeah.
And I think that Mercedes Monet would be the rub that she needed to be like one of the top stars.
Yeah, definitely.
Even though I know that they have great heat, I just think that like Queen Aminata needs to stop getting buried. Period. It's just criminal at this point.
Yeah, and I think the reason for the pairing is that it's an easy entree to get them in this picture.
Well, and they would look great together.
I think being just because weirdly enough, this Tekla and Aminata feud has been one of the rare examples of something organically growing.
Yeah.
in terms of just like an unintended, it's always the unintended angles that end up creating the most compelling stories. It's like every time they try to create something for, you know, their A and B stories, it always end up like, you know, like Hangman Page and Kyle Fletcher. It's more of a feud that it just seems more like something that was made on an internet forum as opposed to something that
Yeah.
had any kind of organic build to it.
Yeah.
This is something that their fans have responded to. There have been multiple instances of either Aminata or Tekla coming into the ring when the other was in a match and the fans organically erupting because they know the history,
yeah.
right? But at the same time, um, this is something that if I were booking it, I would not necessarily have them join forces right away.
No, you'd have to blow off the feud.
Yeah, and the feud would be blown off by these two deciding that
combining powers is more important than
I can't beat you, so I might as well join you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just want that for them. I would pop huge for it.
No, for sure. They would look amazing together too.
And again, I just think it's a great option to build up so that you make sure that you have someone to pass these belts onto so that they're not on like your headliners forever. That's my top three in terms of who would challenge Mercedes and Statlander. Do you agree with that order?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I do want to defend my Harley Cameron and
This is how I want to finish the discussion because this is what I saved it for intentionally. I got Deeb and Serena out of the way. I got all these other tag teams out of the way. I am so surprised by this, but also at the same time I'm excited by this, and I just want to give you the floor.
Oh, thank you. So this was my thought when I looked at the list of people, I thought about genuinely from like the women's perspective, like what would be the best like qualities to pair. And like I think with Harley Cameron, another another AEW talent that just is like continuously like waved over every chance that they get, despite like just her proving time and time again that just like every time she comes on screen like people are like lit up and delighted and just want to see her more.
Me included.
Right. No, me too. Like she was my first pick. And Marina Shafir, I think, has the opposite problem. I think that she's getting buried by the Death Riders, but I think I could see, I could see Harley Cameron trying to like bring something out of Marina Shafir.
Oh yeah.
And trying to like pull her out, like, girl, are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you safe?
Yeah.
And Harley Cameron being the only one brave enough and like loud enough to really like check on her. And then that would be the story of Marina Shafir. And that's like her Rhea Ripley ditching the Judgment Day.
Good, yeah.
Because again, I think she's big, she's tough. I'm so curious. You've made me so curious. I'm not curious about anyone in the Death Riders except for Marina Shafir. So,
well, okay, so this is where I'm going to jump in because the thing about Marina Shafir, and this could change.
I don't have historical context.
This could change.
So, like, I know Marina Shafir from the Death Riders. I don't know what she did before this.
So she had a pretty infamous promo once on AEW TV. It was like her only promo.
Was it bad?
It was her. We'll watch it. We'll watch it sometime this week. But she used to when she entered, she was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that was her name, the problem, Marina Shafir.
Okay.
And she, I believe it was Albany, where she was. I think that's her hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And so they gave her a hometown promo. But she did this very odd pipe bomb promo on the town where she kept trying to play, like, do wordplay with the problem.
Oh, no.
and it just came out like it just left everybody confused. And I'm not going to do it justice here, so I'm not going to try to paraphrase. But it was just she kept trying to use like it's like like I'm the problem, but you made the problem, so you're the problem.
Oh,
That kind of thing.
that's
Where
bad.
everybody and granted, like she had not spoken before. She was like very new.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is that, and this, again, this could change, but all I'm saying is that I don't think it's an accident that she's mute. I think this is a strategic decision. Some
Okay.
people generate intrigue more when they don't. I'll tell you what. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Sting in WCW when he went mute for 18 months for the Hogan feud.
Yeah.
And then he won the title at Starrcade. And then after 18 months of dead silence, when he was celebrating with all the members of WCW after reclaiming the title from the NWO, he just looks at the camera and he screams "Mamacita."
I was just about to say Mamacita, right?
Mamacita.
Yeah.
And just I feel like Marina Shafir is kind of she has like Mamacita
But okay,
energy.
but listen, who better to be tagged with for her
I agree.
than Harley
I see the vision, by the way.
I know it isn't. I think here's my thing. I wouldn't want to put Harley Cameron with somebody who like competed with her on the mic because you can't. There's nobody at AEW who can be like who is that good at promos. And I think that's how you give Marina a good rub because she could like learn from it. And she can also, again, and I hate to keep bringing up Raquel Rodriguez, but she can be mute for 18 months with Harley Cameron.
Right.
Because Harley Cameron wants to win matches because she's so good at the promos.
Yeah.
She's not in the ring. And maybe Marina Shafir is really talented in the ring and we just don't fucking know because she's been on the sidelines for Jon Moxley for the last whoever fucking knows, like months and months. And I think it's a shame when you give these like talented female wrestlers like those types of roles, like the ringside roles.
Yeah. What it seems that Marina Shafir has functioned as in the whole Death Rider story is to be someone who would antagonize the men and to a point that it would culminate with her taking a bump at a pay-per-view.
Right.
So it's like she's almost kind of
sacrificial.
Glorified punching bag that creates shock, like a shock moment.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh well, she's slapped Hangman in the face like 3 weeks in a row, and then he's gonna put her through a table at the pay-per-view kind of thing.
Right. And like, I don't know. I just like I want more from the talent. And like I think those two are two females at AEW that don't get enough like justice, I think. And like I think with her lack of promo skills, it's fine. Let her
Tell you what, we're gonna listen. I'm gonna show you that promo, and then you'll come back and you'll report back next week in the cold open.
Hey, you know what? Everyone makes mistakes, okay? Right? We learned that last time.
That's right.
So yeah, that's my logic. I love her being the silent bodyguard.
I think the mistake was giving her a mic, but that's not necessarily what she said.
Don't give her a mic. It's fine. I'm still envisioning a promo where Harley Cameron asks her if she's safe and if she's willing to join forces.
And she's so goofy and disarming that it's the only person that could reach her in that way. Yes, I love it. I love it. I'm not telling you I don't love it. I think that we've already engaged in a level of storytelling that I feel like just doesn't happen here enough.
Yeah, totally.
I feel like AEW should have more of these thought exercises more frequently than they do.
Yeah.
And I think that WWE does, but I just think they're too easily moved by circumstance or by, one or two talent at the top that want to do something specific or don't want to do something specific. And it just it's like too many cooks in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
But for here, I think the issue is that a lot of this stuff is not getting made. It's not being like, we're not taking who we have and being like, okay, what appeals, what about them appeals to the audience currently, one way or the other?
Yeah.
And how can we play that in order to create these pairings? And I think ultimately, like, just to put a bow on this, like, short of us just like kind of engaging in some fantasy booking, I think that that was kind of my thesis with all of this, is that what we did in the last like 40 minutes or so is what I wish AEW would do more often, which is just break down how these performers are connecting with the audience and then find their foil or find their complement. And I think that when you put them in the same space and you give them a little bit of latitude to do what they do, it's like the Queen Aminata and Tekla thing. It's like it'll happen because they're responding to the, you know, the work rate in the matches, or they're responding to the personal dynamics, or, you know, and I just think that, you know, I think that they've done that with a few people at the top, with Tony and Mercedes and Chris now. I mean, it remains to be seen with Chris. They put the belt on her.
Yeah, who knows how long that's going to last.
Who knows? And here's the thing is, like, in order to put the belt on her, you took it off of Tony about a month and change off of her being the first person to beat Mercedes and Monet in an AEW ring.
I know.
So it better work, because you've really spent a lot of accrued capital in order to put her over.
I'm actually really surprised that they did that, because I could have seen Tony Storm retaining for a much longer time, even though it's already been a pretty long time. I don't know. It's like there isn't any competition for Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné right now, and like,
and there's no better time than the present to try and start building it. But I just worry about using the belt specifically to build it. Because, and this might be a good way to get into the Dynamite discussion, but one of the other things that I noticed along with the introduction of the tag team titles was that Chris Statlander had her first promo as champion, and she shared screen time and space with Harley Cameron, who, you know, as she does, progressively took over the energy and the focus of the promo. And, you know, guy like me, like, I don't mind that. Like, I'm delighted by her. But I kept seeing this issue of like Chris, your world champion, being on the periphery.
Oh yeah.
And me just being like, is this what you want?
Right.
So how easily overshadowed your champion is, albeit by someone who is very magnetic in nature. But, you know, that for me, if I'm Tony, I'm just looking at them and being like, that's a discouraging sign.
Yeah.
And I think that's really kind of what I wanted to just discuss here. I think that you've got a very stratified top. You got a few people that are just about ready. I feel like Athena and Willow. I
think that's my favorite tag that is on the list, because I think that the people that's like, I feel like it's like the Usos. They'll be like the female Usos.
You have them right on the edge of breaking into that crust, but it's still very stratified still. So hopefully this new tag division kind of gives, you know, more space, more TV time, more attention to the booking of the women, to their characters. Maybe they get a little more time on the mic to be able to establish their characters to the AEW audience. And, you know, we'll see. And I'll save this, and then, you know,
see what happens.
A few months' time, we'll come back to it and maybe quickly recap and just see where we are compared to where we thought we would be. But
yeah.
So that concludes the very first draft on this podcast. I envision that we're going to have many, many more, because I just love the format. So we're going to just quickly, after this break, we're going to just go over briefly AEW Dynamite from this week and just any thoughts that we have on the state of the promotion in general. We're back. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
To be back?
Yeah.
All right. So AEW for September 22nd, 2025. So this is the show right after All Out. We start off with the tag team championships. Brodito defeats the Gates of Agony, GOA. Then we have the world title on the line. Adam Page defeats Lee Moriarty in what I felt like was a little too short of a match, considering how they have no problem letting Hangman go into these like 20-minute matches with people, and he was the hometown guy. Pinned him pretty quickly and cleanly. FTR, and this might be one that I want to talk about.
Wait, you didn't talk about the Cope and Christian promo.
Yeah, so you're right. We should touch on that. Cope, Cope and Cage.
Like the extra frame rate.
FTR gave his wife Beth Phoenix a pile driver. I guess it's Beth Copeland now. A pile driver during All Out, and she was work hospitalized. And Edge was saying something along the lines of that he had to go. He didn't know how long he was going to be gone. And then, Christian, I can't remember the line, but he basically just insinuated that he wasn't alone.
Yeah, that their family.
Turning a corner, yeah, that he had family. We'll see. They're tipping an absence, so we'll pick up that story like when it actually starts moving again. But the other side of that, which I did want to note, was that FTR during their promo, generating some genuine heat here. I think this is working really well, and I think that the reason the Hurt Syndicate had the belts taken off of them is because I think they plan on putting them on FTR, and I think they should.
I feel like they're still nervous. Like they're still nervous about being heel. Like they don't. I don't get the sense that they really enjoy it. I don't think that Dax Harwood like enjoys like fucking with the crowd, and like you can tell because every time they get on stage, like they drop the mic or like they don't know what the mic is working or like they're like kind of like they're buffoons as heels, and like I'm sad about it. Like and it's not like I'm sad in the way that the New Day is, because like that's like, oh man, like, but they like the New Day like really like went all in on like the heel project, right? Like they studied for it.
This is where, in my estimation, we split in like a really interesting way. And maybe it's something that we track as it goes on. I think that they're further into the editing process of this than you do. I see a lot of positive refinement of what they're doing. And I think that in the next month or two, this could be something that's really honed and could be something that's a draw for them, something that you could actually program around. If you were to tell me that you don't think that's the case, then I'm not going to tell you you're wrong.
I live for the day that I get like the John Cena going back to babyface like situation for FTR.
Let's call this like one of the first Shootnami bet.
Okay.
Let's track this as FTR goes along, because I think that there's an absolute possibility that could be the case.
I can't wait. I want to wear my FTR shirt again.
Oh, you want the rainbow to come back?
I want them back. I miss them.
I know they're all just there's this new this new tendency to just like, oh, you're heel, let's just desaturate your whole gimmick. Like keep the graphics, but we just desaturate it.
Right, or no, it's like the most horrible. It's like navy and silver, and instead of like this amazing, like, and they're still using the same theme, which is like such a bummer.
Which I don't hate, by the way. I think that WWE really should have more nuance in terms of how they think about their music and their heel presentation. The Becky Lynch thing. Whereas I don't know why you have to insist on making the music worse. Because you think that it's going to make me like buy into the heel persona more. I
genuinely think that they like that song. Like, I don't think that, like, I feel like they're not playing that song to make you hate it. I think that they think that the song is good. But I just, it's such a downgrade. It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that I don't hear her chant anymore.
Well, yeah, there's no accounting for taste, but I think that's what the feeling is that. But it doesn't make sense because we don't want her getting chants, or we don't want her singing the song. But then Seth Rollins comes out, and that's his whole thing.
He's a heel, right?
He's a referred to by many as a chant merchant.
Yeah. No, totally.
You know, so it's just like, why is one permissible here, not the other? But anyway, I think top line item here is this is something that we should definitely track as it goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say, let's add it to the list of the women's division and then FTR things to revisit
Mm-hmm.
because I really truly think it could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool that we found like a split of opinion, but also one where either outcome is likely.
Yeah.
After the FTR promo, we had Orange Cassidy returning to team up with Hologram and Mark Briscoe to defeat Hechicero, Takeshita, and Okada. I have two thoughts on this match. I think that the open with Don Callis' painting leading to the orange reveal, leading to then the media offline error screen for Orange Cassidy was I have chaotic and quintessentially wrestling. We were off the rails in such a beautiful way, and something about the media offline uh, in where his video package should have been was just like a perfect like chef's kiss on top of everything that was happening here.
So I'll kind of do like a sandwich, but like I think the conglomerate. I love the people. I shouldn't say all of the people, but I do love a lot of the people in the conglomerate. Like I really do.
The conglomeration.
The conglomeration. Like I think, there's some solid people. There's some not so solid people, but there's some solid people.
And those not solid people are Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong.
Okay.
Just so we're clear, we're not going to I'm not going to keep it general here. I think everybody in the Paragon, you want to talk about go away heat? Everybody has that.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, the guy that his whole thing is like he screams people's first names before he delivers his promo.
Crazy.
Anyway, sorry.
But I agree with you that like the early promo, I just wonder always why these people are together. Like again, with like the putting individual people who are totally different kind of pushed together into these different groups for seemingly like no reason other than maybe they have like backstage relationships maybe, or like
Yeah,
I'm just not like I don't get the story. I don't
Right.
get like why these people are in this group together. But like Don Callis with the like I have been painting and these are like they made props of this like horrible AI art that like was
no, that's real. That's real art, by the way.
Wait, is it really?
I don't know if he
No.
actually paints it, but
No.
yes, they've had segments where those paintings have been revealed.
No, they're not real. They can't be real. Don Callis isn't a painter.
We'll have to research this to get back to you.
You're such a mark for saying that Don Callis actually painted.
Okay, all right. I just said I don't know if he painted them or not. What I'm saying is that there have been segments where those paintings have been revealed, whether or not they're real or not. And they've been physical, like at least printed.
Oh, for sure. They're physical, but they're props. Someone made AI art and printed it out and said Don Callis painted them.
All right, we'll have to get back to you on this one. Perhaps I'm being a mark.
But the opener.
Those are his real paintings. How dare you? That man worked hard. He he said for 6 days.
I know.
I've been painting. That's pretty good, actually. I've been painting for 6 days and nights.
Like God, like
See,
like
this is why I'm a Don Callis guy.
Yeah, I like and just the whole like putting the paintings and revealing them and then having Orange Cassidy like not really surprise anyone, you know what I mean? But like in the moment,
I was surprised for him to come out of the painting.
I was surprised for him to come out because that's the thing. They gave it away in the promo.
This is why I had this as quintessentially wrestling, because it was so stupid and chaotic, but I just popped. I kept popping for aspects of it.
Me too. Me too. I thought this was so entertaining. And the media missing, like you said, the like Orange Cassidy, like
Man, something about that really just tickled me.
it's so funny.
That was like the Jack Perry getting interrupted by the Taco Bell commercial.
Oh yeah.
I love those moments in AEW. Like, I don't think anything, people make fun of those moments, but they endear me so much to this company.
And like I will tell you what, I like when wrestling, when WWE pulls some shit like Triple H in the president's office talking about like gym class,
Yeah.
and staging that, or like the Great American Beer, Hulk Hogan getting booed off stage, or like, you know, some Vince McMahon, like, what's amazing to me is that I always have AEW, and AEW in that moment seems so much sweeter to me
Mm-hmm.
when WWE gives me that, or like Brock Lesnar coming back. Fuck, I don't want to watch it for a couple weeks. I need a fucking break from this like icky feeling that I get when I watch this, that like I'm not welcome here. I'm welcome at AEW.
I want to come back and watch these tryhards for a little bit because they bring me closer to the spirit of what this is all about. These guys love this shit, and they're only sometimes good at it, but it doesn't stop them from doing it every week.
Right, and we should all
Aspire to be that.
We should all aspire to be that, and like.
All right, you're right. This is an AEW podcast from now on.
So, no, I truly like.
No more WrestlePaloozing for us.
Like when John Cena just kept coming out to a black screen. AEW, what are you up to? Let me put you on and have a moment like this where like it's absolutely absurd. No meetings.
Yeah.
John Moxley runs into a wall because he didn't practice his walk-in.
Walkthrough.
Yeah, never
let or walkthrough.
Or he's like walking in like behind a plant or something because the cameraman didn't know like where to go or whatever.
If you're the world beating heel of a wrestling promotion,
Yeah,
you can't run into the wall.
but you can, because it feeds me when WWE doesn't. So that's my point here, is that like I just, you know, when things are bad at the other company, I just love these types of I love AW for this. Yeah. And I will always love them for this.
It rejuvenated me. And the other note here I had was kind of the antithesis of that, because it's a tale of two tendencies. So that what we just talked about is kind of the positive end of that spectrum. And the other part of it is what I alluded to earlier in previous episode, which is that these multi-man matches.
Yeah.
And I have just in general, I feel like these matches always need 2 less guys and 4 less moves.
No, I think I could live my whole life without another like 4-on-4 person match. I don't think they should be even like, I don't even think they should do them, because you can't, I think that they always look choreographed. I'm always thinking about what the people who aren't in the ring are doing, and I'm always constantly thinking like, God, that's got to be like such a pain to like maneuver through like all of this just nonsense, you know? And nobody ever shines, really.
No, everybody gets lost, and when you look at the people that are getting lost here, 2 of them are Takeshita and Okada, which you're going to be, you're building up for that huge match with them, right? You're building up that tension between them, that dissension as members of the Don Callis family. The other one is Mark Briscoe, who just beat MJF on your pay-per-view. And for me, like, I'm a guy that always looks at the kind of what shape everybody's in, because you can kind of sometimes just by how people look, you can kind of tell who feels like or who knows they're going to be getting a push. Mm-hmm. Mark Briscoe's definitely like
beefing,
looking like he's ready to get a push for something.
Yeah.
He's certainly connecting with the fans more than even he used to in the past, when he was just like, he was always been a fan favorite, but I feel like he's really building momentum. So he's in here. Hologram has been mainly on Collision, but he hasn't lost.
Yeah.
He hasn't lost a match. He's like 35, 34, 34 and 0, and he's going to be taking on Kyle Fletcher next week as kind of a title versus streak match. So you've got him, and then you've got a returning Orange Cassidy. So you like on paper, you've got 5 of 6 guys that you're trying to position and build up, and then you end up losing sight of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's a waste of talent.
I thought that the match itself was really good. I think that it's just one of those things where so often you have a good match and then you look at it from the booking perspective and you go, what was really achieved here other than a really funny opening to this match?
Which was awesome.
Which was awesome. But, in terms of
It was a plateau after that.
it was a plateau, and too many of these matches plateau. So,
Even though I thought Hechicero and Hologram were really like good together.
they're all great. And
I would have replaced this match with a Hechicero Hologram match.
have that maybe beforehand and then have these guys have a traditional tag match. Yeah, I agree. 2 matches left for the night. We have, and I don't know if you caught this one or not, but this is great. Powerhouse Hobbs and Claudio Castagnoli.
Perfect matchup.
I have in a better world. This is a world title fight.
Yeah. Well, this is a great AEW title fight, but Hobbs can't do a promo, which I know, but he's really fun.
Do we know that? I feel like I can't remember the last time that I heard him actually attempt to do one.
No, there was one. There was one that I feel like they let him do a couple of seconds, and yeah, he's not a talker. Claudio is awesome, I think, but like, yeah, I think that that's one of the reasons is because I think they're really trying to, like, I think that's why Hobbs isn't like number one at the top because he just
Could be.
he has a one promo skill.
Could be, and I mean, it could be the same for Claudio as well. But what's strange about that is that this company doesn't seem like that influences who they book.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just odd that, if that were to be like the thing holding these two back, it would be strange because the fans respond when they're in the ring. And I really love this match. This was just 2 guys just beating the absolute bejesus out of each other. They manhandled each other in a way that made the other look half their size. It was incredible to just see like that amount of raw strength. And then they ended the match on a fucking roll up, which was crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it was still good, and I think that these guys are a little too locked into the whole like Death Riders and Ops Hangman thing to be able to break these guys off and maybe create like a mini feud out of this. But if they did decide to do that, I would really love it. So that was really great. Then we have Tony announcing the women's tag belts, and we have our our main event, which I'll just cover briefly, and then we can discuss the aftermath. So it's the AEW Women's Championship. Chris Statlander, the new champion, takes on Mina Shirakawa, who I love a lot, and I think that I really couldn't find a natural partner for here in the list we had, but that was the one person that I was sad that I didn't get to put on one of my teams. I think she has a lot of charisma and she's really good in the ring. So she is the first challenger for Chris Statlander. The first thing I thought of was that I can't remember the last time that a women's match main evented a Dynamite. That was really great.
Yeah.
What we talked about before of just kind of creating more equity between the male and female roster in terms of that big match feel. I don't necessarily know if this match did that, but I think just getting in the habit of putting the women in like bigger spots like this will, give you the ground to at least start to move in that direction. Chris retains. They have a pretty decent match. And then in the aftermath, we have Death Riders coming out, trying to recruit Chris to their group. She declines by clotheslining Wheeler Yuta,
Okay. Oh, but that would have been nice.
which is something that I know you would have loved to see. And then here's the part where I want to talk about. Darby Allin comes out with a flamethrower.
Oh, your favorite.
And he challenges Jon Moxley to an I Quit match at Wrestle Dream, which is their next pay-per-view on October 11th, I believe.
Yeah.
So the show goes off air with Darby shooting the flamethrower nearish the front row.
Wow, really?
Flecks of some unspecified fluid keep sputtering from the flamethrower onto Darby and onto the surrounding area. And I just have here that someone is going to die in the show at some point.
Yeah, dude, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. They gotta stop playing with fire, literally and figuratively.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry for that. But yeah, it needs to stop.
Well, we talk about every week how the show opens with what always seems to be like an inordinate amount of pyro.
Well, and
In a very small space.
and they always do it in the way that's like, I'm gonna light you on fire.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. And then they like, never do.
And it
because
was
they're
very
wrestling.
much that, whereas like when he was about to shoot the flamethrower,
Someone comes in and
no, it just felt very like, okay, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, you back up.
always.
You know?
It's never not that every time.
And I don't really know like what the discussion is here. I think this is just one of those things where I wish that they would just understand that this isn't doing what they think it's doing.
You think it's doing?
Yeah. At least not for me, you know?
I don't think it's doing it for anybody though. Like again, it's if you're gonna use fire, like I think the only time it's ever worked was when they light the table on fire and then do like the put someone through a table so that it
Yeah.
super fast. There's no like there's probably some fireproofing and like that's the only time I've ever seen it done where it's like, oh, this is cool. Like a flaming table. That's so scary. Like that would be such a scary move.
Yeah.
But like actually like the flame even like when Seth freaking Rollins had the flamethrower, it's like stop using flamethrowers.
That was all just at least that was just like the entrance.
You're
You
right.
decide to like use it as an equalizer in the match.
No, but I mean like again, it's just like it just doesn't have any business being there.
Right.
It's not doing anything.
Because you think that I'm like for the Seth Rollins example, you think that I'm thinking as a viewer like, oh wow, this guy's such a badass with this flamethrower. But what I'm actually thinking is that when the director cuts away from the shot of him, he's going to very neatly put it down and safely put it down and then proceed with his character.
Or there's a PA that's going to grab it.
I'm thinking about the production around it, and it's taking me out of the suspension of disbelief or suspension of belief.
Where, like, if Darby Allin was using it and it was just, like, spraying fluid everywhere, like, you better fucking...
I don't know if it's something where it's like that fluid. I was, like, trying to, because I also get, I wear down towards the end of those shows, too.
You're
so
like,
I'm looking and I'm squinting in it, and I'm just like... this can't be fluid, lighter fluid. Maybe this is like some sort of like retardant.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Liquid that has to continuously spray to ensure that it doesn't like, ignite Darby in front of everybody or I couldn't.
Oh, that's true, yeah. But again, you're like going down.
But I'm thinking of this instead of just like, wow, this guy's gonna, he's gonna fry these people. I don't know why they think of that this is like the reaction because now an I Quit match is essentially like, it's the Jim Cornette like, no disqualification, no count out, lazy booking. You make your opponent say, I quit, and you can basically do whatever is required to do that. And it's like we just had that same match, but just like with a coffin with these two.
Oh yeah.
And it's just becoming like this exhibitionist thing where it's like, what kind of like crazy shit did we come up to do with each other this month?
And I don't love watching shit like this.
It's just, I don't like watching it when it's not building to anything.
Yeah, I'm just like not, I feel like I don't watch wrestling to get like titillated. Do you
No,
know what I mean?
and this Darby Allin return should have been way cooler.
Yeah.
Way cooler. Because this is in their kayfabe, in their lore. This is Sting's like anointed one.
Yeah,
This is his
protege.
protege, exactly. And he's carrying a lot of the same like vibe and aesthetic.
I feel like Darby Allin has not done anything really to make Sting. I know I hate to shit on Darby because I really do.
He's
like
not making his dad proud right now.
He's really not making Daddy proud. I feel like, well, he probably is because Sting is like a super stand-up guy, but like I feel like nothing.
Sting's just glad his kid's having fun.
As soon as Sting left, I expected Darby to like really like transform or like okay, now that Sting is no longer like here, I'm gonna like start to really like pick it up a level. And granted, he did climb Mount Everest, which is not like nope. I'm certainly my fat ass is certainly not climbing Mount Everest.
We were looking for him to more figuratively elevate, not physically.
Yeah, exactly.
He's physically elevated.
No, I am like again acknowledgement. I'm never gonna not be impressed by that, but I feel like
but this isn't a mountain climbing podcast.
Yeah, I'm tired of the tights and shorts, and I think that you have so much potential, and I'm waiting for it.
What's odd with him is that because he's kind of Sting's protege, I think what they were intending to do before he left was to have the Death Riders thing be like their NWO, and for him to do like the Avengers thing, the Crow Sting. I think they were trying to do that WCW angle, but then when he left, Hangman was the one that got slotted in.
Oh,
so now we've resolved that. And now it's, we're picking it back up again with him and Moxley. But the angle, instead of like a battle for the fate and the soul of the company, now becomes like, which one of us can out mutilate each other.
Yeah, which is so boring to me.
Which is the sad part because Darby was supposed to be on the ascent. And I hear it from so many people how great Jon Moxley is as an in-ring storyteller and a wrestler. But then these things just don't come together to form something interesting. And I wouldn't care if not for the fact that this was going to be a major like tenet of their programming for the foreseeable future. And I think that I don't really have anything else to say other than one, it's great that this show ended on the women's title. I think that the women got shooed away very quickly. And then it led to more flamethrowers, more weapons, and another death match. And I think maybe in summation, that might be kind of what the issue is right now, is that in a microcosm, which is that you have some promising female talent that are getting the opportunity to headline a show, and then we quickly fall back into our laurels of having like our extreme dudes do extreme dude shit.
But I don't think that'll ever go away for AEW because
I hope it does. I hope there's a little more evolution to the formula and maybe storytelling and challenging themselves to not fall back onto what's comfortable or what they feel like engages, and to maybe give a wider breadth of people a little more time.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the state of play as I see it with them.
Yeah.
But we'll, like so many other things, FTR, the women's tag titles, the division in general, we'll put that all in our back pocket. I think we might not necessarily go with a alternating like WWE, AEW kind of format. I think it's just going to be from here on out what strikes us. But I
Yeah.
felt it was fair to kind of give like a baseline of where we're at with both companies. And I think that we did that. So thank you for joining me again.
You're welcome.
And thank you for episode 2 of the Shootnami podcast. The goal is to make this a weekly thing so that we come to you next week with 3 and 4 and 5 and so forth, like Bronson Reed with his tsunamis, where it's a continuous stream and you're never sure if it'll actually end. That's where I hope we get to with this. But until then, enjoy your week, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.